Every story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. But the greatest stories are those whose endings are not just conclusions, but powerful new beginnings. They are lessons etched into the fabric of time, designed to guide us, to heal us, and to elevate us. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. All praise belongs to Allah, Lord of all worlds. May peace and blessings be upon our Prophet Muhammad, his family, and his companions. We ask Allah to accept our fasting, our prayers, and our efforts, and to fill our hearts with sincerity and light. We have journeyed with the Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, from the depths of a well to the heights of a palace. We have witnessed betrayal, temptation, and imprisonment. We have seen patience personified and faith unshaken. Now, we arrive at the final, most breathtaking chapter of his story. A chapter of reunion, of forgiveness, and of a hope so profound it could restore sight to the blind. This is the story of how decades of pain can be erased in a single moment of mercy. This is the unveiling of a divine plan, perfect in its timing and beautiful in its wisdom. This is the culmination of a promise made to a young boy in a dream, long, long ago. The sons of Yaqub returned home, their caravan heavy not with grain, but with guilt. They had left with their youngest brother, Binyamin, and now they returned without him, just as they had once returned without Yusuf. They delivered the news, a story of theft and detention, another wound to a father's heart that had been bleeding for decades. The darkness of grief descended once more. The loss of Yusuf had dimmed his sight. The loss of Binyamin threatened to extinguish the last flicker of light. That the heart of a prophet is no ordinary heart. It is a vessel of unwavering certainty in the divine. While his sons saw only despair, Yaqub, peace be upon him, saw the hand of Allah at work. He turned away from their excuses, his spirit turning towards his Lord. He declared a patience that was beautiful, a Sabrun Jameel. This is not the patience of resignation, but the patience of active, hopeful trust. It is the patience that says, "My pain is immense, but my Lord's mercy is greater." He told his sons something that shook them. "Indeed, I know from Allah that which you do not know." He could feel something they couldn't. He had a connection to the unseen that whispered of hope when all logic screamed of loss. And so, he gave them a command born not of anger, but of faith. "O my sons, go and inquire about Yusuf and his brother, and do not despair of the mercy of Allah. Indeed, no one despairs of Allah's mercy except the disbelieving people." Think about this. After 40, some say 80 years of separation, he tells them to go and search for Yusuf. To the world, it was madness. To a believer, it was the very definition of faith. With their father's words echoing in their hearts, the brothers set out once more for Egypt. This journey was different. The arrogance they once possessed was gone, shattered by years of hardship and the weight of their sins. The famine had tightened its grip. They were no longer proud shepherds from a noble lineage. They were desperate men on the brink of starvation, returning to the very man they now believed held their brother captive. They arrived and stood before the powerful governor of Egypt, the man they knew only as Al-Aziz. They did not come with demands or clever arguments. They came with humility, their spirits broken. They spoke, their voices heavy with desperation. "O great governor, hardship has struck us and our family. We have come with merchandise of little worth, a pittance that is almost shameful to present." Then, they uttered the words that would change everything. They asked for charity. "So grant us full measure, and be charitable to us." Surely, Allah rewards the charitable. The sons of a prophet, the grandsons of Ishaq, the great-grandsons of Ibrahim, were now begging for sadaqah. Allah had brought them to their knees, not to humiliate them, but to purify them, to prepare their hearts for the revelation that was about to unfold. Yusuf, peace be upon him, looked at his brothers. He saw their desperation. He saw their remorse. He saw that the moment Allah had promised him in the darkness of the well had finally arrived. The time for concealment was over. The time for healing had begun. He leaned forward and asked a question that pierced through decades of lies and self-deception. A question that was not an accusation, but a key to unlock their memory. Do you know what you did to Yusuf and his brother when you were ignorant? The words hung in the air. He didn't say when you were evil or when you were cruel. He said, when you were ignorant, offering them a path of understanding, a recognition that their actions came from a place of spiritual blindness. A wave of shock washed over them. Their minds raced. How could this Egyptian governor know the secret they had buried so deep? How could he know the name of the brother they had wronged? They looked at him, truly looked at him for the first time. They saw past the robes of power and the authority of his station. They saw a familiar face, a ghost from their past, a nightmare they thought they had left behind. Their world tilted on its axis. In a choked whisper they asked, Are you truly Yusuf? He replied with the most beautiful and powerful words. I am Yusuf, and this is my brother. Allah has certainly been gracious to us. He didn't say, I survived, or I became powerful. He immediately attributed everything to Allah. And then he gave them, and all of humanity, the formula for success through hardship. Indeed, he who fears Allah and is patient, then surely Allah does not allow to be lost the reward of the good doers. In that moment, the brothers stood exposed. Their crime, their jealousy, their betrayal all laid bare. They confessed their sin, acknowledging that they were the wrongdoers. This was the moment Yusuf had waited for, a moment where he held all the power. He could have exacted revenge. He could have imprisoned them. He could have shamed them publicly. It was his right. But the truly powerful are those who have the strength to forgive. Yusuf's response is one of the most magnificent moments in human history. He looked at the men who had tried to destroy him and said, No blame will be on you today. May Allah forgive you, and He is the most merciful of the merciful. He didn't just forgive them himself. He prayed for Allah's forgiveness upon them. He lifted the burden of their guilt in an instant. He chose mercy over justice, reunion over revenge, healing over hatred. This is the character of a prophet. This is the lesson for every soul that has ever been wronged. The path to true peace is not in holding on to pain, but in releasing it through forgiveness. And his mercy did not stop there. He immediately thought of his grieving father. He gave them his own shirt, a garment of honor, and instructed them, Take this shirt of mine and cast it over the face of my father. He will regain his sight. And bring to me all your family. The very object that was once used as a tool of deception, a shirt stained with false blood, was now being replaced by a shirt that would be a vessel of a miracle. As the caravan departed from Egypt, hundreds of miles away in Canaan, a miracle was already beginning. Yaqub, peace be upon him, turned to those around him and declared, Indeed, I find the scent of Yusuf. The people around him were skeptical, thinking his old grief was making him delusional. But the spiritual connection between a father and son, between a prophet and his Lord, transcends physical distance. When the caravan finally arrived, the bearer of good news rushed to Yaqub and cast the shirt over his face. In an instant, his sight was restored. The physical blindness caused by grief was healed by the scent of hope and the mercy of Allah. He looked at his sons, his vision clear, and said, Did I not tell you that I know from Allah that which you do not know? The entire family, a whole tribe, journeyed to Egypt, and when they entered the presence of Yusuf, he embraced his parents, bringing them close to him on the throne. And then it happened. His parents and his 11 brothers fell down in prostration before him. Not a prostration of worship, but one of honor, respect, and greeting, as was the custom of their time. The dream had come true. The sun, the moon, and the 11 stars had prostrated to him. Yusuf turned to his father and said, "O my father, this is the interpretation of my dream of before. My Lord has made it a reality." He reflected on his journey, thanking Allah for taking him out of prison, for bringing his family from the desert, and for removing the discord that Satan had sown between him and his brothers. He saw every trial not as a punishment, but as a stepping stone in a perfect divine plan. After all the power, the reunion, and the fulfillment of his destiny, the story of Yusuf ends with a final, humble prayer. A prayer that reveals the ultimate goal of every believer. He prayed, "My Lord, you have given me authority and taught me the interpretation of events. Creator of the heavens and the earth, you are my protector in this world and the hereafter. Cause me to die a Muslim and join me with the righteous." After everything, his only request was for a good ending, to die in a state of submission to God, and to be in the company of the righteous. This is the ultimate success. The story of Yusuf is a story for all of us. It teaches us that no well is too deep, no prison is too dark, and no separation is too long for the mercy of Allah to reach us. It teaches us that patience is beautiful, forgiveness is strength, and hope is an unbreakable bond with our Creator. May we learn from his life, embody his character, and may our final prayer in this world be the same as his. 5 reflections. 1. Hope is a discipline. Keep longing for Allah's mercy when logic says no. 2. Mercy mends families. Forgive beyond justice to heal what time could not. 3. Patience sees the unseen. Sabrun Jameel trusts timing over evidence. 4. Honor matters. Seek truth's public unveiling, not just private relief. 5. Dreams take time. Divine promises unfold across seasons. Comment your intention. Which family wound will you begin healing through forgiveness this week? What long arc dua will you keep making patiently and consistently until Allah opens the door? Where will you choose integrity over the easy path, even if it costs you now? Kindly hit subscribe to see more videos, like, to inspire me to do more, and share because you care.